and nominees for some of these awards. And I'll let you join in on the one we were just talking about. If you had to come up with your biggest Bronco pet peeve for the season, what would it be? For just example, some of the things we've heard, the failure of Javonte Williams to take his game or get back to his old form, the Broncos running game as a whole, right down to too many 3-and-outs, Ballsy. Is there one that stands out for you?
For me, it's the running game. And the running game, it just bothers me that they have not consistently been very good at running the football. And sometimes, sometimes it's the running backs, sometimes it's the O-line, sometimes it's the volume of plays that Sean Payton likes to run in the running game. Sean and I, that's where we probably differ on philosophy. He loves to have a lot of volume. He loves to have a large menu of run plays up every week, where I come from a world where we kind of pare down that menu and we run 5 or 6 plays, but we run them really, really well. So that would probably be my biggest pet peeve, is just their lack of consistency in the run game. Drives me crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, obviously. And I think how they use the running backs is also an issue with me is, who's it going to be? I think eventually you got to get to a point till you say, okay, Javonte's not getting it done. So why are we rolling him out there for the first 5, 6, 7, 8 plays on offense? Might as well just go with Jalil. And let's give him a real opportunity to be the starting guy and see what it looks like moving forward. Not saying that Javonte can't go in on third downs or passing situations where he does a good job in protection and out of the backfield, but at a certain point you got to say, hey, all right, this guy looks like he gives us the best chance to be successful. He hits the hole a little bit different, at a different speed Jalil does than the other two backs. Let's just go with him. Let's see what it looks like and see if that can be the spark that we need to have a more consistent running game.
So that's one category. Don't want to get too negative with the pet peeves, but how about this one? Who would be your Broncos' biggest surprise player this year, Mark Schlereth?
Probably Riley Moss.
All right, yeah.
Riley Moss has been really good. I can't wait to see him come back, especially after what Jerry Jeudy did to our defense. So, Riley Moss has just been really, really good, and he's a guy that they drafted third round a couple years ago, and it was hurt, and so it's really been great to see him play, and it's been surprising to see him play and play so well. So that's been excellent.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how much we missed him out there on Monday night. So he's a guy that plays, obviously he's really good in coverage, but he's tough. He'll come up there and make tackles in the run game. Who
had that? Who could have, when we were sitting back in the hot sun there in August previewing this season and all the storylines of the season, whoever in the world could have imagined that after week 13 we'd be saying, wow, Riley Moss was going to miss a game, and his absence was felt
great young man.
To the point where, all the Broncos country was like, what exactly is wrong with Riley Moss? How long is he going to be out? Is he going to be back right after the bye week? Can we sign a giant get-well card for Riley Moss? Who would have predicted that one? Man, maybe Zach Bye should have been predicting that instead of worrying about.
Wow.
I wonder if
reps.
I wonder if Riley Moss only had 5 reps in a team period, because it could be the reason.
If he got 10 reps, he wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Right.
He wouldn't have gotten hurt. He wouldn't have missed last game.
Would have been more callous.
Right?
Would have been more callous.
Unbelievable.
Mark Schlereth word. Stink, I got to have you react to this audio, and because Stoke and I are completely on opposite ends on this one. So Hard Knocks has their new in-season behind-the-scenes show featuring the AFC North, okay? So this comes from, and you're going to love this because of the content and what we're talking about here. This is from Cleveland's preparation in getting ready to take on the Broncos. Okay, and this is a meeting being conducted by the Browns' offensive line coach, Roy Istvan, I think is how you pronounce it. Anyway, this is the Browns' offensive line coach going through a team meeting with the Browns offensive lineman, including Jameis Winston, who is referred to as the chief. So here you go.
Everybody wants to sack the quarterback. That's what the defense wants to do. We're going to take pride in protecting the quarterback. No one with the chief. Nobody. Now, chief, this is how you can help us. Get through your reads and get the ball out, right? You do a really good job with that. It's impressive. Set the protections the right way. When you got to flipper it, be on your shit. Be on your shit. Okay? Whatever you say, we're going to do. I promise you. Okay? And you guys back this up. You fight your asses off. You fight your asses off. We're not going to Denver to go skiing.
So this is your weekly, one of, several dozen during the course of a long season meeting with the offensive line coach. I find that laughable. I find it eye-rolling. My eyes were rolling so much one of my contacts popped out, okay? The idea that a bunch of grown men making millions of dollars sitting in a meeting room are going to be listening to this guy and somehow, what? He's going to make me want to run through a wall for him? I think it's laughable and eye-rolling. Stoke loves it.
I loved it.
Stoke loves it.
I thought that was awesome. You're talking about you got 17 games. You've been doing these dumb meetings since the offseason. You go through training camp. You wanted the guy just get up there and say, okay, guys, we got to do a better job of protecting our quarterback. Jameis, you need to get the ball out really quickly because we're not very good up front. Guys, you got to fight hard, okay? Would you rather that? No, you need some energy, some passion. I mean, that's the way I view it. I absolutely loved it. What do you think, Mark? Where are you at?
Love it.
Yes!
100% love it.
Jeez.
I mean, that's the way football is supposed to be coached. That's the way it's supposed to be played. Hey, man, this is important. We're gonna fight for our quarterback. Quarterback, you got to fight for us. Like, this is how it works. We're going to Denver, man. They're the best defense in football. They were leading the league in sacks a couple of weeks ago. Like, they are, like, legit, man. This is a huge challenge. Absolutely, I love it.
Oh, my God.
That's the way it should be.
You guys really are a bunch of meatheads then, aren't you? Jeez, if you need that kind of stuff to get you. Like, I have a rule.
I don't need that stuff. I don't have to have it.
If you're a coach or a comedian and you have to resort to just dropping a bunch of, be loud F-bombs to try to get your point across, then
he's not forcing
you're not that good of a coach. You're not that good of a comedian.
If that's who he is, if that's the way that's the way I had 3 offensive line coaches in my NFL career. 2 of them spoke like that. One of them didn't. We were equally as good either way. You've got to be authentic to who you are and the way you operate. Like, if you're an old school coach and that's how you coach, then that's exactly who you should be. And so that's great stuff, man.
Yeah, I had an offensive coordinator, a couple of them, but one of them was very intense like that and brought the energy and the passion. And that's great. I loved it. And it's
But see, that doesn't sound real to me. That sounds like a lot of forced
not to me.
That sounds like forced rah BS.
That sounded real.
I gotta come out here and I gotta deliver some kind of big message. And oh, by the way, the cameras might be rolling because I know we're doing this Hard Knock show. And it felt forced. It felt contrived to me.
You know what this is, Stoke, don't you? This is Mike lamenting over not making the varsity team because he was JV and he thought he had a chance, and the coach kind of got after him a little bit and he cried. And
coach was too hard on. The coach yelled at him. He yelled at him
and he said, "I don't like all this yelling. I'm going to play soccer."
No.
So that's probably what happened.
Soccer guy. Soccer guy.
That's probably what happened, Stoke. You know. Yeah, and yes. In case I left anything out. Yes, I called you soft, soccer guy.
Yes, that is the implication. The implication is heard loud and clear right there, Mark.
Good.
I did play high school sports, okay, but and I never had a problem with coaches yelling, but I never played for even a high school coach who felt like he had to resort to this kind of rah-rah. I just
Mike,
can't
see, now
imagine.
you're changing the rules
I just
here.
can't believe that a bunch of grown men playing NFL football, sitting in these meetings week after week, are going to just like be sitting up a little straighter and just, I don't know, taking better notes as they listen to that kind of stuff.
No one's saying that.
It's eye rolling.
But if you
I'd be fighting the urge to laugh or look at a buddy next to me and go, seriously?
Oh, it's great. But that's part of it is and so that's what has you excited about going to these meetings. All right, what's this guy going to say next? What is he going to have this week? That's fun. I mean, you got to make it entertaining sometimes also, bring some energy and some passion, and you just want it to be plain, just talk, normal, even kill. What do you want,
Let me give you
Mike?
an example. Like somebody sent in a text. RamosLoud.com text line said, you probably, Evans, hate Dan Campbell. Nope, big difference. You know why? When Dan Campbell does that stuff, honestly, it doesn't sound contrived with him. It sounds authentic. It sounds genuine. This bozo sounded like he was just trying to put on a show. And if I was there listening to it, it would take 2 minutes of him into his rant for me to be like, oh my God, this guy.
Mike,
seriously?
That's because you've heard Dan Campbell for the last 3 years. When he first came out and said, we're going to bite kneecaps and everything else, you were like, oh my God, this guy. Now you're like, oh, he's authentic. That's who he is. If that offensive line coach has talked that way since the day he got in, guess what he is? Authentic. That's exactly what he is. You're just like recency bias right now. You're just recency bias, this guy. It's exactly what you thought of Dan Campbell when he came in and talked about biting kneecaps.
Man, Mark keeps receipts. See, you didn't realize he keeps receipts like that.
Pay attention, Campbell.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I will admit I did not like. I did find Campbell's routine a bit eye-rolling. This guy takes the cake. I am stunned. I am honestly, and if this honestly is the kind of stuff that you, having played 15 years in the NFL, Stoke, Stink played, I don't know, was it
11,
10,
12,
9?
right around that.
Right.
Yeah,
It was close to double digits.
Yeah.
If this is the kind of stuff that like gets you guys all Twitter-pated, I look at you guys completely different. Let me tell you now.
Coming from the guy that says he gets moist when Joel Klatt drops a formation when
Right,
he's talking.
yeah.
That's hot. That's hot. That is elite.
Elite.
Elite. Coming up next, we'll get